All right, I'm gonna plug it back in, see if that works. Nope.
Good luck. Let's see.
What's up, dude? How's the weekend?
Not bad, bro. Just enjoying sports and stuff, enjoying life. Haven't done too much on crypto, really, to tell you the truth. I've just been keeping an eye on. How about you?
Yeah, I touched some grass over the weekend. Um, but dialed in here this morning, getting caught up to stuff. Happy that we're getting some green here on the Monday. Seems like we're getting a really nice recovery across the board
Yep. Nice to
so far,
see.
at least. Yeah.
We've been maintaining. That's the important part. Like the dips get eaten up, and we'll talk about it. But it's nice. I feel good overall.
Yeah. Oh man, this is so annoying.
That sucks, bro. What do you usually use it? Do you use it often? Like a lot of the times you're just standing, and then others you're dropping it down to seating height.
Yeah, I usually kind of rotate in between. I'm feeling a little tired, I'll sit back down.
And I'm guessing you're like,
I was rotating to stand up so I could lock in,
oh shit,
and it just stopped like midway, and I'm like, I have to like sit up super straight.
you were getting
Yeah.
into boss mode.
Yeah. Um, yeah, man. It's all right. I'm good to go anyway. We can get it rolling.
Sounds good. Let's do it. GM, everybody, and welcome to another Wake and Jake. We're here, me and Jake, as always, or almost as always. And, we're ready to run through it again. Things have been up and down, but mostly okay. Obviously, a lot of turmoil in the world, but we're going to get into that. Jake, GM, bro, how's everything?
Yeah, GM. Things are good. We had um tumultuous week, I'd say. Last week was really bullish. I last episode still really bullish right now, but we obviously had the escalation between Israel and Iran last week. That sent quite a bit of a nuke down for markets when they were pushing to all-time high. Bitcoin went from about like one over 110 to 103, where it bottomed at. And since a nice little recovery here over the weekend, and this morning sitting at 107.4, ETH sitting at 2630, Solana 156. So yeah, man, I think just in general, with this war stuff, I'm certainly not a war or macro expert, but from my opinion, what I've seen from other smart people regarding this is, um, it doesn't seem like something that would be a long-term drawdown. I think what we saw was obviously like big geopolitical events like that creates uncertainty, and people were pretty highly leveraged and very bullish into the market. Given Bitcoin looks like it was pushing all-time highs, altcoins were doing really well, and we saw that leverage kind of just get flushed out with a lot of selling and people being uncertain about what's going to happen with this big geopolitical event. But since then, we're getting people kind of sobering up a bit, and um, in my opinion, it just doesn't seem like it has a gigantic economic like drawdown. I feel like it's a lot different situation than like tariffs. That could be if like when employed, when Trump originally announced them, would be significant detriment to the economy for a longer period of time. Whereas this is in a region that's kind of always been in conflict for a very long time. So in my opinion, it doesn't seem like anything like crazy new from a market's perspective, and shouldn't be something that really brings us down um, for a sustained period of time. So I'm still feeling really good about things. It's also like a classic. Here's a good chart to kind of put it more into visualization of what happens with these type of events. Posted voice hangout chat, but this is essentially saying like it basically shows the returns of the S&P 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months after a big event historically, and they're historically pretty much all over the place with an average of continuing to go up. Um, per normal, I'd say. So there's not like really any strong, I would say, indication that like every time we get one of these big events that we're just gonna nuke for a sustained amount of time. Like usually markets um, in general trend up regardless. So I think that's important context to have when these type of events happen. And then just in general regarding right now, I think for people who that I follow that reference a lot, Web3 Quant was all over it. He did a really great job with commentating regarding it. He said on the 12th, which was Thursday, that was likely it. It actually did go a little bit lower from when he tweeted that, but he said the invalidation was 103K, and we didn't even have like an hourly close under 103K. I think it may have briefly wicked under it, but then bounced off, and that was pretty much the bottom was 103K. And since then we've been trending up. So he's been pretty all over it. Thinks he tweeted again that he quote tweeted that same tweet and said, breaking into 108-ish will set the stage for a breakout to all-time highs, and um, when we do get to the all-time high, I think we fly basically. Like it's not going to be another resistance area where we break down temporarily after getting over. He thinks this recent one that I posted is that a quote tweet of him saying, "This time we fly when we break all-time high," referring to Bitcoin. So he essentially thinks, look, once we closing or above like 108-ish, 109, we're in a really good spot to just keep on going. And then once we break the all-time high, we're just going to rip quite a bit higher. So I think you can kind of wait if you want to wait to be a little bit more risk on, wait until that 108-ish, 109 area. But in general, things are looking pretty good at the moment. So yeah, feeling pretty good about things. I think we had that momentarily. I don't want to really say black swan, but like a mini black swan event with the war stuff. But in my opinion, it doesn't seem like something that's going to bring us down for a long period of time. Markets are feeling pretty bullish right now. A lot of altcoins doing really well too, which we talk about. But I'll stop there for a second.
I agree with everything you said. Pretty much, it's you hit it perfectly. I think the war stuff is always really short lived, and usually they're buying opportunities, especially when it's things that don't involve the USA directly. I mean, the only time we really get a
Yeah.
big issue is when it hits our borders directly. Like it's not even a joke. Like if you saw COVID was people took it seriously, but it didn't affect the markets, even crypto back then. I know a lot of you weren't in there, but it was the same thing. COVID was running rampant everywhere, and it just barely moved the markets. But as soon as we heard of the first case coming to the states and a shutdown might happen, that's when the market really tanked. So the real issue ever with markets is if we hear that war hit our shores directly, which is a very small chance of happening, but could happening. That's when we'll see a big drop in the markets. But everything else is really short lived. It's always one of those, oh my God, bombs are flying, Israel's under attack. Oh, it hit Israel's shores. Oh, well, it'll tank quickly, and then the next couple of days it usually recovers. Like the next few days it recovers. So it's always really just it pumps the brakes on the market, but it never lasts from what I've noticed in the past. Like even the Ukraine stuff, Russia, Ukraine, as soon as they heard Russia was invading Ukraine, the markets crashed also, but it never lasts long. So yeah, obviously it's still bad because it just means higher chance of USA getting involved in wars and higher chance of us actually joining, starting a World War III, and all that can lead to worse stuff. But again, I'm not too worried long term. I just think it creates buying opportunities in the market. Is absorbing everything so nicely lately. It feels really good. It just feels like everybody's dying to get in, and they're trying to take any opportunity they can to actually buy, and that's kind of where we're at. Like we were able to just march on through everything. The May sell off barely happened. Like it came and went in a couple of days. Like didn't even take a week, and
Yeah.
we're back to highs. Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
Sorry, are you still going? Yeah, I
No,
saw
no, it's
your
good. Yeah.
mic light up, but I couldn't hear you. I don't know if my like lagged out.
I don't know if it was on your end or mine. I didn't look at my light to see if it was on. But
Um,
yeah, if anybody can, that's fine. Whatever. You can go, Jake, if you have something to say.
no, I was just gonna say a little update on at least stuff this morning. There's a couple tweets out. By the way, this is a really good account. I would recommend everyone to follow. Is Walter Bloomberg. Um, but he basically said Iranians want to talk about de-escalation. Trump did at G7, and then like 16 minutes ago after this, Iran said they're preparing for the largest and most intense missile attack in history on Israeli soil. So I don't really know what's going on. I don't know why they would announce that if they were going to do that.
Well, Trump at
Um,
G7 is all you need to know. Trump said it because he was convinced that he was gonna probably like try to convince them to stop bombing. You know what I mean? And then Iran's like, no, we're not fucking stopping.
yeah. But yeah, it doesn't seem like market really cares about that news. Looks like yeah, we did have a momentarily. Wait, what the? Oh yeah, we did have like a small little blip. But it's already recovered from when that got tweeted out. We're still rising up 107.7 right now, so seem like people don't care too much about this escalation. I think you made a good point too about like when it involves like the countries that are involved matter too. Where U.S. isn't super involved in this, and like the economic size of the country matters too. Like Israel and Iran are really huge economic powerhouses. I'm looking right now. Israel's like 28th in GDP, and Iran's 36th um, by country. So it's not like it's someone in like the top 5 or top 10 or anything. Um, so that matters as well. And yeah, Shaggy, always good advice. You know, just buy it regular intervals DCA if you're bullish and hold. This is all usually pretty nonsense kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
yeah, 100%. We try to always find like a bargain or an in or something, but like even this last couple weeks, I completely changed on how I look at markets, and it feels so much better. Like that's what I've been doing, just DCAing and chilling and not being so like hands on, for example, and it's felt good. And I mean, you don't have to worry about so much; you just have to keep buying, and that's it.
Um, so yeah, so in general, I'm feeling pretty good about the markets for sure. I think we're real close to continuing to break out. It was probably like a really healthy retrace to reset leverage across the board. People getting a little too bullish, and now people a little bit uncertain. So they're not going to hit that leverage long button as aggressively, I'd say, as we climb up. So it's probably a bit of a healthier dip before to reset things a bit before we start ripping back up with people more sidelined and having to rebuy higher. Um, oh shit! Just spilled my water. Great.
Nice. It's not your
um,
morning with that desk, is it?
no, dude, it's not right now. I'm struggling. Um, but yeah, just in general, I'd say still really like ETH. If we're gonna move on to altcoin stuff, ETH BTC still showing some strength. ETH up 4% versus Bitcoin's 2% in the last day. Um, it saw ETH BTC saw quite a dip when we had the war stuff, but it's rebounded pretty strongly here. Um, a lot of positives going for ETH right now. Inflows continue to be really good via the ETH ETFs as well. Um, and I want to shout out, yeah, XRP is actually showing some really nice strength today, up 7%. Some really nice green candles over at XRP. I feel like traditionally we've talked about this before, but when Bitcoin is like about to break out slash does break out into new all-time highs, like that's usually when XRP starts to run as well, since it's such like a normie friendly coin. I feel like people like scoop up to the exchanges, to Coinbase or whatever, log in, and that's like the first like alt they want to buy on the list when they see Bitcoin. When they see news of like all-time highs and crypto getting going again. It's like XRP like underperforms all the rest of the time, but then it has like these big breakout moments. And it seems like that might be, around this time too. So I still think XRP is a pretty good bet. Right now, up 7% today. It's already showing some nice strength. Right here, could get pretty juicer of a move. I feel like we usually see that. It's like it'll underperform constantly, and then have like 30%, 40% days all of a sudden. When Bitcoin starts showing strength. So like that a lot too. And then obviously some bigger news today was Justin Sun taking Tron public. And form some type of MicroStrategy company alongside Eric Trump. So they're going public in the U.S. And they're just going to buy and hold Tron with a company. So they're going to do the MicroStrategy Ponzi, just, I don't know, crazy stuff. Was originally getting investigated by the SEC, and then that got dropped, and now he's working with the Trumps, and it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's all quite ridiculous, it seems, but I mean, that's something going for Tron at least.
Yeah, they were able to do this through a reverse merger, which basically is buying a public company and merging with Tron, which is super fucking smart. And they did that with like it was called SRM Entertainment, if you want to look it up. And that stock is up like 10x ever since they announced it. So you saw some buying on it last week. It started heating up. Like it was a dead stock. It was less than $1. And some I was looking at the chart. Some buying happened and brought it up almost 2x up until Friday, and then I guess on Monday they announced it, and it just freaking ripped. It ripped pre-market. No, it ripped at open to 5.5, and a 2x from there already to $9. So this news is being well received, and obviously people on the inside made a lot of money already just by buying the stock that was already actively traded. So if you're looking to keep an eye on Tron and what the ticker will be, it's probably going to be an SRM Entertainment rebranded, because this is the company that they bought to basically go public, and they hired Eric Trump, and he's on that team. So yeah, interesting stuff. Smart guy, Tron. He always, I mean, Justin Sun. He always finds a way to stay relevant and finds a new way to make billions and billions and billions of dollars. Like the guy's top tier scammer. I've never seen anything like it, and my hat goes off to him because he's a legend. This guy, bro. So
Yeah,
amazing.
he's always making headlines somehow.
Always doing something. He's always jumping on a trend, but when he jump on the trend, he's not just jumping on it. He finds like an alternate way of doing it and capturing all the fucking attention. It's wild. I've never seen anything like it, bro. Like I used to trade Tron even like last cycle, early in the cycle before MVHP even existed, and yeah, he had a wallet up. He had like you could do everything in this wallet already, like you can on these on let's say Phantom. You can do it on his wallet back then. On his chain, you can trade shit coins with Tron directly before even you can do with BSC or anything. Like he was always ahead, and he even had all kinds of like crypto casinos running through Tron. Like it was wild. And a lot of like revenue share stuff going on with those casinos. He always finds a way to make like headlines and always finds a way to innovate within a niche. Sometimes he's late to it and he still finds a way to do crazy things with it. So honestly, yeah, hats off, man. That he's smart.
Yeah, Tron saw a nice little pump from this. Still hasn't nothing honestly crazy though. So maybe I don't know. I'm personally still not very interested in Tron compared to other stuff. But yeah, I don't really know. I guess what I'm saying is I don't really know how or if I want to like make any plays based on this news, but it's just I guess interesting at least.
I guess the other one we could talk about, since I have to take a look at what Circle's at, but I know it was up at like a 140 Circle IPO that happened like last week or maybe the week before.
Yeah.
$31 to 140 or whatever it was, or 135. I don't know what it's at right now. I'm trying to find it. Circle, I can't find it. I don't even know the ticker, but it's at 153. Holy crap, Waf! That's insane. Thank you, Waf. That thing doesn't stop. It's ridiculous. I can't believe we didn't talk about it more before it happened. I would have put whatever money I had in stocks still. I don't even trade stocks much, but I would have put it in there. I would have put in just expecting a 2x, and it would have been like a 5-6x. That's just nuts. Yeah, so the stable's depegging upwards. Good
Yeah, I
times.
mean, they
And
have
then
like
it's
the
not
best.
done. Yeah.
They have like the best. What was I say? But like, they have like the best business in crypto. I'd say with stable coins. I mean, they just
Print
basically
money.
just print
Straight
money.
up.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, um, just print money with yield.
And they're US based, so they don't have the issues that like USDT had all this time of always having like I know USDT is going to be fine too now, especially with this new administration we have that doesn't really give a fuck, but they do care more about American companies, so they might still have issues in the future. But Circle has done everything right. They've been backed and they've been helped, and they're it's just been nice to see. It legitimizes fake US dollars on chain. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. Um, yeah, we don't talk about stocks much, but we probably should have mentioned
That's
that.
it.
But
Yeah.
yeah,
We can move on. If anybody has anything to mention, whether it be on stocks or even, anything we talked about, Tron or any info, please go
yeah,
ahead. We're all ears.
macro, big altcoins. Would love any other takes here if you guys got any. Okay.
Doesn't look like it.
Um, yeah, we can move on to shitcoin stuff. Um, while we're at it,
Yeah, I'll let
market.
you take the reins. Yeah.
Yeah, markets. There's been a couple things. It's still pretty lacking, especially with the kind of the air out of the balloon from um, the war stuff. It was heating up quite a bit when we started pushing all them highs, and then war stuff kind of brought us back down. There are a couple bright spots. Useless is the big one. That's kind of that I've seen, at least seen all over my timeline. It's the bonk coin from their launch pad. And it's like getting heavily shilled by that ecosystem. And Bonk guy is kind of like the main one behind it. Who he has some real sway. We've talked about it him quite a bit in the past, and he's like one of the number ones to follow, especially the shitcoin and meme coin world. Given his influence that he has over stuff, and he's been shilling useless coins since like day one, since like I don't know 4 or 5 million, and now it's I think it's pushing 100 million. I'm not sure exactly what it is right now. Last I saw it was like 90 something million this morning. Um, so that's been going crazy. And also like the Bonk Launchpad guys are supporting it a bunch, and I saw they just tweeted they're like providing it with like 200K or something with like sec of like um listing fee, like listing fund or whatever to pay for listing fees and liquidity and stuff over on centralized exchanges to get listed. So yeah, I think that one, it has some really strong momentum behind it. It has a lot of bigger KOLs and influencers behind it. Even for the size that it's at now, I think it still has quite a good amount of room to run, given that it's a pretty easily, like, it's a very easy narrative. It's just like a useless coin, just kind of making fun of uh meme coins and crypto. So it's easy narrative to understand, and it has kind of that momentum that coins need to get off the ground, and into new territories. And considering if the entire market reprices higher, then you can obviously reprice the ceiling of these kind of coins higher as well. So even at this price, like I still think it's probably a good bet. But I will say, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the Pump.Fun token itself is kind of looming over the entire shitcoin market, and it really probably just all of the Solana ecosystem in general. Uh, we got the report that I think it was like the beginning of June, or maybe like a couple weeks ago now, that they've said that it's coming within weeks. So I think there's a lot of expectation that Pump.Fun's going to drop their token within the next week or so, on that relative time frame, and the raise that they talked about was doing a $1 billion raise alongside a community sale alongside like a $4 billion FDV. So that would be a gigantic liquidity suck across the board for like the Solana ecosystem. If that were to come true, or if they were to even do anything close to that size of a raise. So right now it feels a bit like a holding pattern for stuff where it's scary really to hold anything. And if you do want to, I guess, get into new coins right now, it's kind of tricky because like the market could rip higher in the next few days and these coins could take off. But then the Pump.Fun token could come in and bring it right back down. So it's hard to like it's hard to like speculate right now, I'd say, on like the shitcoin trenches, especially like the bigger coins where they would be probably hit the most. So I don't know. I guess it's to say it's like if you want to be, I would just be careful like with holding and stuff because like, as soon as that gets announced, especially which could be at like any moment, that would be, I would say, the first initial like liquidity suck, and then maybe we start trending up until it actually happens again, or like right before, and then like it's probably like a second wave of like dumpage across the board, and people actually start to take profit and rotate to get ready to buy into this Pump.Fun sale. So this to say, I would just say just be cautious. Even though I do feel pretty bullish about the market in general, I do think things ramp up for shitcoin stuff. If especially if Bitcoin does end up breaking out, then I think it definitely will. It's kind of just a tough spot until this Pump.Fun token actually comes out, and we get more details on exactly what their raise looks like and what the airdrop looks like. I would just say just navigate carefully, and you might be able to get some nice entries on things, stuff like useless token, which I'm eyeing. I'm kind of waiting, I would say, until we get news about this Pump.Fun stuff. I feel like useless would probably be one that gets hit pretty hard, considering it's a newer runner. People would want to rotate profits. So yeah, that's current that's like my current take regarding ecosystems and stuff. Jinzo, I don't know if you felt differently, or anyone else had any takes regarding shitcoins and Pump.Fun stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a good reminder for the Pump.Fun. You just don't know what it's going to do to the markets. Probably going to cause a whole mess like Trump did or any other coin that people were like, you don't even have to be bullish about it. It's just, it's going to it's going to suck volume from other places. Even if people are bullish or not bullish, it's going to happen. Now maybe it's short lived, but it's still gonna cause a mess. Useless is down to 76 mil now. I am looking at it too because I feel like such a dummy for not buying this when I saw he was shilling it like crazy, bang guy. But we had lost on another coin that he was shilling heavily. I forgot which one. I think it was Icon. Yeah, Icon. That one didn't do too well, and I was like, ah man, whatever. This guy's probably washed. Let me just take a step back from his calls. And but the useless one was such a boss call, and a lot of people did fade it because of that. I made money on Icon. I just he didn't sustain that one, and people started calling him washed, and he stopped looking at his trades. And look, a few different guys, even Cooker was very loud about useless coin, and he made over a 1.5 mil on this freaking coin. And yeah, I'm looking at it for an entry because like we've seen in the past, usually those are the coins that will run well if you have the right people backing it and talking about it all the time, right? We saw it with Mog. That was a very forced meta with, yeah, okay, fine, it's a decent meme, but it was a forced meta by a lot of the big names, and they were able to take it to crazy highs. And I think that happens with a lot of these coins that the right people rally around. So useless is one of those fart coin type meta coins that people have been really enjoying because it's not such a hard like thing to push, right? And I'm looking for an entry. If it gets down to 50 or 60 mil, which seems high overall, but compared to the highs that it hit, it's a decent retrace. It's like a 50% retrace. So I'm looking at that area. Maybe I'll buy some. If I don't get it at that area, then I won't get any. I'll just try to be a little bit smart about it and risk off about it. But that's it. I mean, I think it's gonna keep running. It just feels like a good, decent meme that a lot of people are shilling. And other than that, I think it is. It feels like we did enter a bit of conviction meta. The coins that I was tracking that seemed like good metas when they or seemed like good coins when they did launch and they kind of retraced for a few weeks now. They all seem to have done crazy multipliers in the last few days. So um, I just feel like if you find a coin that you like and you think has a good chance, and that is funny and has a good meme on it, whatever it might be, then maybe it's not a quick flip anymore. Maybe it's more of a hey, let me just hold on to this and see what it does for a little while. And I noticed a lot of coins that we've talked about even a month ago. Now all of a sudden they're doing crazy numbers. So yeah, it's just a different type of meta. We're back, I think, into like more into conviction meta and less into quick flips. I mean, you'll still find a quick flips. I just feel like they're like you can have a bit more conviction for the longer term, but it obviously depends what coin we're talking about too.
Yeah. Also, I kind of similar in the AI stuff. Wanted to shout out. There's an interesting virtuals launch tomorrow. Not only just one coin, but it's another one of these kind of SocialFi things, InfoFi. It's kind of um, I don't know. I've seen some like decent people back it. So usually I'm like not super big on the SocialFi stuff. But it actually could be possibly valuable. We'll see. I'd have to use the product to really say. It's called Backroom. Yeah, virtuals launches tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. But it's basically like a kind of like friend tech where you buy keys. But it's like one info feed. Per like for all the keys that you buy, it all gets like AI summarized into an info feed. Um, into that you can basically, I guess, like just filters out the noise. It's not like a group chat, like Friendtech and these other ones are. It's more I guess the creators like continue to post normally, and it like just filters the best stuff into this feed. I don't really 100% understand how it works. I'd have to see it. But I've seen some like people like OGD Farmer posted about it yesterday that he's bullish on it and has some good mutuals that are following the account as well. And it's obviously on chain virtuals, which is super hot right now, and his AI as well. So I think it's worth at least checking out, looking into, and you can obviously trade the underlying token, which is launching tomorrow. But you could also obviously trade these individual creator keys as well.
Good shout. I haven't checked AI
Yeah.
stuff in a little while. Have you been involved at all in the AI stuff or no? Not really.
Not a big amount, just a little bit trading some of the stuff. More like the Virgin meme I was on, and then I forgot the name of it. It was like the winner of like the Virtuals Launchpad or whatever. I traded that too, but just kind of like some select stuff that seemed
Not bad.
interesting to me. I haven't been
Yeah.
super down the rabbit hole. I wish I would have earlier, but that's what it is.
Yeah, it kind of feels it doesn't feel like ultra late, but it just feels like we're kind of a little bit late, and it's hard to kind of get involved when we're late like this.
Yeah, it's hard
Same
to know
here.
these things if you're actually late or if just you just seen it because you've seen the stuff early and then but it's only like the initial like ramp up and then there could still be like this whole like breakout crazy phase of things that could happen, but it kind of like I mean what happened with AI stuff in the first wave back in like December or whenever it was when we were early to it, and we're like, okay, it seems
Oh
like
my
it's
god.
done now. It's been happening a lot, and then it just went crazy with evaluations. It's hard to know. I mean, I don't think it's like a terrible bet. Getting late into AI stuff, quote unquote late, in the new AI stuff. That's interesting. Given that obviously the AI sector in general has an insane amount of room to run from here, I'd say.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I remember that. What an insane time that was. We're like, I'm kind of hesitating. It's been running for a couple weeks now. Yeah, okay. Should have just fucking went all in. The hell was that? Good times. Good times.
Anyone have anything on like what we talked about with shitcoins, AI stuff, Pump.Fun token? Love to hear other community members' thoughts, feedback, whatever.
I think the Pump.Fun token's coming on Friday. Don't. I've just seen it in a couple chats. I think they're gonna try to do this pretty soon.
Oh no.
Yeah, thanks for shout. I saw that as well. Nothing confirmed, but I saw that speculation too.
Well,
Yeah,
let
they
them
would
get
have
it
to
over.
announce it pretty soon, but I do think they're trying to do this. I think they're ready. The app is. I don't know if you guys have used the Pump.Fun app, but it's very cool. It's way better than the website, and they they just partnered with somebody about how to making a series, some call about like how to do the trenches, and they're pumping up Gainsey in his stream a lot, and they they like want to challenge Twitch to be like the biggest video streaming service. That's their like
Mhm.
lofty long-term goals, and it just feels like they're like really pushing forward with all this stuff.
That's great info, man. Thank you. I was curious to
Yeah,
see what they do.
looks like they partnered with Function. I'm looking at their feed. Who's Function's an OG. He was big in the NFT days. Um, looks like he's gonna start doing some content for him as well. He's always been a pretty good trader. Um, yeah, that's a great shot, Joe. I'm curious. What is your kind of thought process and game plan around the token? What you're doing?
I honestly haven't like I haven't thought that much about the token itself. I've read a bunch of threads about how well I mean there's just so much like unconfirmed information out there like
Yeah,
10% is going to be an airdrop but it's going to come 2 weeks after TGE or just like all sorts of stuff that we don't have the information for. I do think they're definitely confirmed. Like some people got some guy, like if there's no vesting and like some of these guys got in at 4 million and then it launches in the billions, like it's gonna dump a bit, but I don't know. I've read some really long threads about how you could probably get a 2 to 3x the size if you nail the TGE bottom and then just let it do its thing.
yeah,
I
I agree.
personally have just been like, I want it to go, like, I want it to happen and be over with so that we can move forward. Because I really do think there's a lot of sideline capital waiting on this thing.
Hmm.
And I do like, my most profitable time, like, was the AI meta, which probably was for a lot of people, but it just like you could sleep on bags and like not have to look at your phone at 4 in the morning and like, and like I just, you know, do we immediately return to those times? Do we ever return to those times? I don't know. But I think that once we get past Pump.Fun token, there will be more rewards for holding things, maybe.
Yeah, I agree. That's really well said. I'm very in line with that. It's hard to know exactly what the game plan is without obviously knowing what the info is around the tokenomics and stuff. I certainly hope there's vesting for a private sale. It'd be crazy if they just unlocked private sale people. They got in like 4 mil right away.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's just we're dealing. I've read all the threads about it, but it's just we're dealing with a lot of just rumors. So yeah, it would be good to get some concrete info. I
Yeah.
also I'm a pretty big believer of the like nothing ever happens meme with war, but I'm keeping my eyes peeled on this one because Iran has done damage in Israel, and Israel is kind of the US. Like we are pretty tied with them, and like these two have fought before. Israel's fought many different countries in the region. A lot of times I don't want to get too technical, but a lot of times it's like people try to attack Israel and then they retaliate and then it's over. But I don't know. Iran did some actual damage, and I'm not positive this war stuff is going to blow over so easily.
I don't think it will either. Like we can get into it and talk about it for hours and hours, but the truth is, this is the biggest. People will never say we're in World War III because they don't want the negative stigma that comes in it. But it's basically that, bro. Everybody's at war, and it's not. It's that simple. Like even in World War II, when we were in World War II, nobody ever said, "Hey, we're in World War II." It just sort of like rolled into that. And if you look around, it's true. It's true. Think about it. Think about being in the moment, how it must have been. Nobody's like, "Oh, we're in World War II." We're just, we're at war. Everybody's at war. Sudden, the label started. But if you look at it, everybody's fucking fighting somewhere. It's nuts, bro. Civil wars and everything, like everything's breaking out. So I kind of agree with you. Where especially the Israel stuff is a little scary going forward, and not only is it Iran's gonna keep going, and other countries might pile on because they finally see that they're getting through, um, but also Israel's sentiment across the board is at an all-time low. So that's something to consider too. And I agree with you. It's something to keep an eye on. Like little things like this, they blow over. But if it escalates, okay, it's gonna be another hit on the market. Let's see how long that hit lasts. And oh look, we'll recover that. But we'll get to a point. We can potentially get to a point where it does affect us because it affects the United States a lot more and Canada and whatever. So that's always what I'm looking for is that link to the states. Like, yeah, I agree with you. Israel and USA are tied at they're conjoined at the hip. Even if is USA says they're not involved in something with Israel, they're always involved. So yeah,
Agreed.
it's just we need to keep an eye on how it affects USA and what gets talked about and how deep USA gets involved. But other than that, for now we're okay.
Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out last 5 minutes. Strikes happening both ways. Israel's not interested in peace in the talks. And I know with Iran, there's oil. That's like a very tangible way it could affect the economy. I
You're
think
right.
watching oil prices and like you can like fucking bet on shit on Poly Market with like where oil's gonna go and stuff. I don't know. We live in a crazy world, but they like went up really high and then they stabilized, and yeah, I could see this being a bigger deal. I hope it's not, obviously. Like I'm not rooting for that, but yeah, I got my eyes peeled on this one.
Yeah, I think that's good shout out. Yeah, it looks like there's some stuff coming in. Again on that Bloomberg account that I linked. It's been pretty good at updating in real time on this stuff. Um,
Yep, I hawk Delta One, Walter Bloomberg. That's a good one.
oh yeah. Um, yeah, just in general, this stuff. It feels to me like it's like there's always I don't know. It's like maybe this like pessimist, but it's just like always war going on at some point in like in history. Like there's always a war somewhere. So to me, it's like I don't know. Like it doesn't feel like a big enough sides to really make a huge difference in terms of like global economy prices, unless the U.S. gets tangibly involved, which I don't know. I think Jinzo made a good point. Like I think support and like sentiment regarding Israel within the U.S. is probably like the lowest it's been in a very long time. So, and I don't think Trump really wants to get super involved, at least so far from the comments that he's made as well. So I don't see us really getting involved in like a huge way on
That's
one side
fair.
or other side, you know.
Yeah, I do think that's
Where
fair. I think Trump does kind of try to, he is like trying to, not, he like tries to force whatever people to talk it out, and like he seems pretty anti-war. I'll give him that. And
yeah,
yeah.
this is bad for business.
Exactly. He doesn't. He's not the type to make money off wars like other administrations in the past. Like he understands war is money, but that's not the way he's been wanting to do it. It's really not. He's been trying to partner with a lot of these other countries that usually we don't partner with. So it's like he just wants people to get along and he wants to make partnerships with people. And yeah, okay, the tariff stuff's always a mess, but I don't think he's really looking to get into wars. You know what I mean? He's trying to find other ways to basically capitalize and move forward with the economy.
Hmm.
um anyway,
And like Bitcoin, like I think Bitcoin's just going to be fine. It's such a powerhouse. It has so much. It's like every day less Jeets hold Bitcoin and more like institutions do. It's like it's really in good hands, and I don't really think it anything can stop that train. But like, the further the lines you go down, altcoins and then on chain of altcoins, like you you see a couple scary headlines and people are freaking just nuking their meme coin bags or whatever. So just on that front, I think more so than like Bitcoin's going to go to 70K or whatever. I just think that it's just a very volatile time to be on chain.
That's a good point. Yeah. It just feels like anytime like turbulence, people are rubbing their hands. Big money is rubbing their hands, saying, "Nice, more buying opportunities." People are gonna dump because they're afraid, and it never lasts long, especially for Bitcoin. It's just lasting less and less time, and the dips are less and less big. It just feels like so. Yeah, I mean, buy Bitcoin, I guess. Yeah, we can move on here though. That's good. Thank you so much, Joe. That was a lot of good info and a lot of good talking points. I'm glad you jumped in here. I did want to transition quickly into NFTs. Obviously, everything's pretty stable across the board, nothing major happening. But Vinod did have a good post here about something that's happening tomorrow. And if you want, I'll bump it. You can just, if you want to get in on this, Tormius is doing a drop tomorrow on base. It's 0.023 to get in, super cheap, but it's very easy to get into the actual allow list for this. All you got to do is DM the person, like follow them and DM them, and they'll add you. It's going to be super over allocated because they're really accepting anybody, but all their other drops that they did, they are doing pretty well. Like, I mean, the highest floor is zero point 0.3 for one of his projects, and the other one's zero point 0.2, another one's 0.1. Like, he's got different projects. But why I like this one, it's because it reminds me a lot of the other one we had from like just a few weeks ago from the guy that had Pokemon style art. And I feel like this one is going to do well. It's called Shape It. And if you look at that link that I gave, like all the info's there. I'm trying to get the actual link for the drop, but anyway, I think that might do well, and it's cheap, so I just got in. The guy answered me right away and put me on the list. And it's gonna be an OpenSea drop here. I'll even drop the OpenSea link. Keep an eye on that one. It's tomorrow. But that's it. Other than that, I don't have much else on NFTs. Just wanted to really bump that and give View Not his flowers because it's a pretty decent. I think it's gonna do okay this one. I'll even bless.
Yeah, good shout. There's also a really good call on a mint. I can't find it, but I don't think it was in time sensitive, but I think it got posted in the NFT channel at least before about I think it was like an X copy collab type thing. They did really well. Someone had a success post. Lola had a success post about it, and I think some other people got it. But it's called X Figures. I think it minted for like 0.02 or something, and floor after mint was like 0.04, 0.05 or something like that. It's all the way up at 0.28 now, so it's pretty crazy win. I think it's like that's like a 15x or something. That was
Yeah,
pretty
the
cool.
floor hit 0.77. It was a while
Oh
back.
wow! Didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
a
looked at it.
small collection, 400 and some. Good artists, OpenSea posted it. Lots of people rallied behind it. Some big sales. There's a couple 4 or 5 ETH sales. Yeah, it got really, really hot on Friday. I actually know the artist, and he's trying to figure out a way to move forward with it, like maybe making actual physicals or something. But yeah, that was a good cook and a good call out. The public mint got botted, so it would have been hard to mint public. But I mean, the floor price on secondary was like 0.05 for like an hour before it really took off. So definitely some cooks.
Love to see it. Yeah. While we're on the topic, there's some. Riki just posted a coin that looks interesting. Some Vibe Cat. I guess it's a Juke Launchpad or something. But I think it's ripping right now. To look into. Yeah, they just launched. Yeah, NFTs. There's been some pockets of activity that's been really nice to see. I still am pretty bullish on the Bad Bun stuff. I do need to look into them a little bit more, but just in general, like Mega ETH, I think is going to be a popular player once they get fully scaled up and launched, and I think being able to bet on them in kind of a leveraged way with the collection like Bad Buns, that's already gotten quite a bit of traction, and there's also upside in terms of like possible airdrop opportunity from other mega ETH ecosystems, like how we've seen with these other big NFT projects on these like side chains. So I want to shout out Bad Buns still.
Yeah, the good ecosystems, well, good NFTs, they've held up pretty well. I'm just waiting for that moment where they pop. And I don't know if we'll ever get it, honestly, because people aren't focusing on it. But maybe we do. Maybe we'd start getting a little bit of a run on them. It would be nice. I mean, I'm just so impressed that a lot of these held, even with ETH running and stuff. So, yeah, let's see. Actually, some dropped. Like, I'm looking at Pudgies for the first time in a week, 2 weeks, and they're at 9. Board Apes are back down to 12. But in general, I mean, it's not that much of a dip, so it's cool. Here's to hoping.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I don't have anything else on my list. Anything else you want to
Just
talk
a
to, Jinzo, or anyone
Just a
else?
couple of field reports to highlight here. Meg has a nice little field report on abstract rewards and the badges and all kinds of info on that. Nice little easy read if you don't know much about it, or if you're looking to get into it, or even if you're just looking to get more badges. They're very important for the ecosystem. Get Wrecked by Mint Mazal. Another quick just recap of what's going on with the Wrecked ecosystem, and Metarova with some shorting pre-TGE tokens. A nice addition to his. Oh no, it's a new field report. I thought it was an addition, but yeah, new field report on that too. So if you're looking for info on these things, great info there. 3 good field reports this week. That's it for me, man. Nothing else on my end. You, Jake, all good?
All good. Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming out, everybody. That was fun. A lot to talk about. Keep an eye on the markets. They're heating up. Have a
Yes,
good
sir.
day.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Joe, for hopping in. Appreciate you. You guys in
Yeah,
the trenches.
have a good one. See you in the trenches.
Yes, sir. Later, y'all.
Later.